The new guild raid is kinda tough, and it's a little bit confusing. Here's everything that you need to know. The new guild raid has you taking on some extremely high HP bosses, the Renegade Aziel twins. This will feel similar to a regular world boss or a Baphomet encounter. This boss, as of now, has 5 levels of difficulty, and you have a total of 2 entries per level. The Korean servers have 10 levels, but that doesn't mean that the difficulty necessarily gets harder. They just spread out the difficulty to those 10 different levels. So when we do get those 10 levels, it'll be level 5 difficulty, just at the level 10 point. The 2 entries you get are per level, and not for the whole raid. Most guilds will be able to easily defeat level 1, 2, and probably 3. But 4 and 5 is where it becomes difficult, and you will want as many people from your guild to enter at the same time as possible in order to have the best chance of defeating the boss. Now I know this is asking a lot of casual mobile game players, but I'm just letting you know, levels 4 and 5 cannot be defeated casually with a couple of players, even if they are the best in your guild. Up to 24 members of your guild can all enter into the boss room at the same time. Make sure you're not in a party before attempting to enter. The raid will put you into a party of 12 members, similar to the SEAL party list. This party is based off of when you enter, so the first 12 to enter will enter together as a party, and the next 12 will be a separate party. When you enter can be very important, as different members should have different roles in the raid. Kinas are typically support and won't be at the top of the damage chart, so you don't have all of your Kinas going in first, making a sole 12-man party of only Kinas. You want to try to separate your damage, your supports, and your tanks like Cleefs around in the different parties. Remember, when you're in a party, your other party members can buff, cleanse, and otherwise affect your team of monsters, so having a diverse party is the most beneficial way of going about defeating this boss. Now I say all of this, but in reality it's kind of hard to mess this up or to coordinate entries, so just hop on in there when your guild leader tells you to and you should be fine. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood how that works. Okay, let's look at the boss mechanics. We're going to skip ahead to level 4 because this is where it really starts to get challenging. You just entered the boss room and most of your guild is present. You will notice several things: the boss, 2 obelisks, and a handful of large petrified knights. More on those later. The first attack from the boss is kind of unavoidable, but it will root you into place for a moment. No big deal. Go straight for the boss and start whacking.
I started blasting. Bang!
As you start, one of the stone knights will break free. You will need to kill him quickly in order to access the next mechanic. When the boss is in light mode during the daytime, it will absorb the light energy and the meter will slowly fill up with light energy. You don't want this to reach full, or the boss will go into an enhancement level, as well as perform an ultimate move. There's a total of 2 enhancements levels. The goal of the fight is to not let the energy meter get filled up, either way, dark or light, so that the ultimate move never actually happens. But if it does, this is what it'll look like. The only way to avoid the damage is to quickly stand behind one of the 2 obelisks in a safe area, else your HP will get destroyed. Ultimate move might not kill you at lower levels, but it's deadly higher up. The enhancement level is by far the worst thing that can happen, with the level 4 and level 5 bosses taking significantly less damage. Notice at enhancement level 1, the boss takes 30% less damage, but at enhanced level 2, the boss is nearly unkillable, taking 80% less damage. Not only that, but they're also putting out a significant amount more damage to you. Obviously, you're going to want your strongest members of your guild taking on the boss in order to take it out quickly. The biggest priority, though, is for your lower level team members to keep that energy meter in balance. In order to do that, you need to break the glowing obelisk. Attack it to break it and bring it slamming back down, balancing the light and dark once again. The obelisk doesn't break based on damage dealt, but rather the number of hits. So putting one of your weaker guild members on obelisk duty is best, and have them bring a monster or 2 that does a lot of hits. A very cheap monster is actually Wind Harpy. They do 6 hits on a 2 mana cost skill. The number of hits shouldn't be too much of an issue as long as you have a couple dedicated people to attack the obelisk when it's needed. What we found at higher levels though is that the knights are actually the bigger issue. They're pretty beefy, and you're gonna need several team members to turn away from the boss and help out to defeat the knights. The slower that you defeat the knight, the less time you have to break the obelisk, and the meter could fill up all the way. Once the knight has been defeated, you will now be able to attack the obelisk and rebalance the light and dark meter. A note on obelisk balancing. You can break the obelisk as many times as you want, but you can definitely overdo it. One of the issues I've seen is that players on obelisk duty get a little overzealous and push the meter too far in the other direction. The boss will naturally switch from day to night modes, and if the meter is filled up when it changes form, you won't have enough time to beat the knight and destroy the obelisk before that meter fills up, and the boss goes up an enhancement level. Okay, let's talk about the rewards and when to attack. So the way Comtuous has set this up is kinda trash actually. Let's say that you have a big group together on a Tuesday, and all 24 of you plow through each of the 5 levels and defeat the level 5 boss. All of you get rewards, but not a single reward will be available to the other half of the guild that happen to not be available on a random evening. A member of the guild has to hit the boss one time in order to be counted for the entire raid's rewards. So a member could hit the level 1 boss one time and never go again in that week, and still get all of the rewards up to level 5. Now, depending on how you see this, this could be a bad thing or a good thing. A bad thing because it makes people lazy, they just go and hit the boss once and then don't help out at later and higher levels. Or a good thing for a guild like mine, where we have enough people to take down the level 5 boss, but what we don't want is for some of our team members to not be able to get rewards simply because they weren't available on the day that we were attacking the boss. Now, to be fair, this isn't going to be a huge issue for a while, because the majority of guilds are nowhere near close to defeating the level 5 boss. Only a couple guilds as of right now are actually able to defeat that level 5 boss. I'm sure more guilds will be able to in the future. So as of now, level 4 boss is remaining undefeated, and if a guild member goes in and taps on that level 4 boss, then they will still get the rewards for all of the other levels that they weren't participating in. Now, I know this seems like a lot, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands how the guild reward system works so you and your guild members can make the best decisions possible. What my guild has opted to do is earlier in the week form a decent sized group and plow through level 1 through 3. Throughout the week, members who might not be able to make it for our final Sunday push can attack the level 4 boss and be counted towards the guild's rewards. Then on Sunday, when every member has gotten a chance to hit the level 4 boss, the main force of the guild, including all of our heavy hitters, will finish off the boss. For most guilds, it's going to take about 2, some 3 weeks in order to get enough pieces in order to summon your Celia, your brand new light LD Nat 5. Celia is a really great monster, so I'm really looking forward to building her and using her. Alright guys, that's everything that you need to know about the new guild raids. Get your guilds together and go defeat that boss. If you liked this video, leave a like and let me know. If you've been enjoying the content up to this point, I really appreciate it, and if you want to see more, consider hitting that subscribe button. As always, I'm TopherSmurf telling you to keep on gaming.